Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Rajesh Yadav, and in today's video, I am going to cover SAS training session for beginners. Let's move on to the next slide. This is about me and my experience. Let's move on to the next slide. So, guys, if you want to learn SAS, you can WhatsApp me or you can email me. The next slide. So, guys, if you are preparing for SAS interview, you can take a session, and in this session, I'll provide you guidance and feedback that will help you clear your SAS interview. Let's move on to the next slide. Before starting the SAS, let's understand what is data and what is data literacy and what is daily data and how to generate meaningful insights out of the data. So, the first thing is what is data? So data is a collection of observations or facts. And when you use that particular data to generate meaningful insights, then this is called information. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, what is data literacy? Literacy means understanding. Data means data. So understanding of data is called data literacy. So we are surrounded by the data, and when we understand this data, and based on our understanding, when we interact with the data to take our decisions, this is called data literacy. Let's move on to the next slide. What is daily data? So we know that data is everywhere. In today's world, we are closely surrounded by data and we are consuming a lot of data. Such as if you want to see the weather forecast, we just use our mobile or computer or tabs. We can quickly check the weather forecast. Or if you want to see the social media updates, we can check quickly. Or if you want to check your bus schedule or you want to book your flight tickets. So this is all comes under daily data. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next slide. Next is data literacy usage. So now we understand what is data, what is information, what is daily data, what is data literacy. So now we will understand how this helps us to make decisions. If you know if the data is reliable, trustworthy, or meaningful, then you can make decisions based on the data. For example, if you want to buy something online, then you will go to that e-commerce website and there you will read the customer reviews. Based on the good customer reviews for a particular product, you make a decision whether to buy or whether to not buy. Another example is if you want to go out, then you check weather forecast. Based on the weather forecast, you make decisions. Like if it's going to rain, then you make a decision whether to go by a car or motorcycle or whether to carry an umbrella. This is how data literacy helps to make decisions. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next. Alright guys, so we are going to do a small exercise to generate insights. So if you see here, I have some bunch of numbers from 1 to 10 and we'll generate insights or meaningful information out of this data. So let's generate. So you see, we have these 1 to 10 numbers. So first thing we can say these are numbers, but these are pretty simple. Anyone can say that. But as a programmer, as an analyst, you need to see what others can't see easily. So you can see these are the numbers from 1 to 10 and these are in ascending order, right? So the first is numbers are sorted in ascending order. The next is what is the minimum number? So minimum number is 1. What is the maximum number? Maximum number is 10. What other information you can generate out of these numbers? The other thing you can tell, like what is the total of these numbers? So total of these number is 55. What other information you can generate? Average of these number is 5.5. So I've generated 5 insights information about these numbers. This is pretty basic, but you can see how we generate this. Other things you can generate, what is the median of these numbers, what is the sigma means standard deviation of these numbers. So you can generate insights like this. I hope you like this exercise. Let's move on to the next slide. Let's move on to the next presentation. All right, guys. So let's start the SAS environment understanding. SAS provides three tools to do the programming. SAS provides so many tools, but basically for SAS programming or coding, we have three tools. One is SAS Studio, second is SAS Windowing Environment, and third is SAS Enterprise Guide. So now you see today's world, most of the people do the programming in SAS Enterprise Guide. However, SAS Studio is a web-based tool where you can do the programming. And third one is SAS Windowing Environment. This comes free with SAS Foundation. Earlier, people used to work on this SAS Windowing Environment, but nowadays very less companies are working on this. However, the coding that you will do, that would be same in all these three. The SAS Enterprise Guide will provide you point and drag facility where you can, if you do not know the programming, you can just using your mouse you can do the programming. Our SAS Studio is web based. You do not need to install in this into your machine. It can be accessed through browser. And SAS windowing environment, we know that. All right, so this is it. We'll try and do the programming mainly in SAS Studio and SAS Enterprise Guide. SAS windowing environment is not relevant these days. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, to program, you need few basic things in an editor. So for example, you need editor window, log window, result window, and output window. So these four windows are necessary, and SAS provides all these four windows in its all tools. So editor window is where you will type your code. Log window, when you execute your code, you will see the log and understand what is happening. So you can find out error and reason of the error or warnings. The third is result window. So when you generate any analysis, then a window will appear and there you can see analysis result. The fourth one is the output window. So as windowing environment, earlier we have this output window to show the results, but in SAS Enterprise Guide, this window will be used to show the data set that you open. All right, guys. So let's move on to the next slide. Code formatting. So good thing about SAS is it is formatting free. So you do not need to be careful about giving the space. Okay. So you can type one word and then you can give 10 space, 500 space, doesn't really matter. It's a spacing free. Second is case insensitive. So you do not need to worry about typing small letters or capital letters. All the keywords SAS, if you were going to write any keyword of SAS, that can be in small letter, capital letter, or name of the data set, that can be capital or small letter. So it's case insensitive. Then it will show you the color coding. So if you're writing then keywords, it will show some color. When you making mistake, it will show you the red color. So you can judge your program by checking the color coding. So it will help you spot the errors during code writing. Let's move on to the next slide. So SAS contains two parts. One is data step, second is proc step. Okay, what is the data step means? So when your program starts with data keyword, that means this is a data step. And data step generally creates new data set or modify existing data set. So that's why this is called data step. Let's move on to the next slide. And the second thing is proc step. So proc means procedure. So procedure step starts with proc keyword, then the name of the procedure. So here we have print. So now you understand what is data step, what is proc step. So data step starts with data, proc step starts with proc. Proc step is used to generate analysis, and that analysis can be printed in result window or can be written into a new data set. Let's move on to the next slide. Next is syntax errors. So when you type your code, you can make mistakes. So when you make mistakes, what type of mistakes can be? So in syntax errors, these are the possibilities whether you make a typo mistake like misspelled keywords, or maybe when you are applying quotation marks. So you know that quotation marks works in pairs. For example, this or this. So when you start quotation marks, you will end the quotation marks in same. So maybe you will just start quotation mark one side, but the second side you do not apply a quotation mark. So and quotation mark you missed. This can happen, or maybe single quotation mark, or you missed one side of the quotation mark. This is called unmatched when you do not apply the other quotation marks. This can be a syntax error. Then you miss the semicolon. So in SAS, every statement is terminated using semicolon. So if you miss to type semicolon, then this is also a syntax error. Or maybe you are using invalid options. So there are various options in SAS. So if you try to use an option and you forgot it about this, so this invalid options you apply and it will show you the syntax error. So syntax errors generated during compile phase. Let's move on to the next step. Right guys, so now we will understand the SAS terminology. Let's move on to the next slide. Alright guys, so what is SAS dataset? SAS dataset is a SAS file. It is table like structure that stores data. Also, it stores information about the data. So SAS has two parts. One is descriptor part or descriptor portion, and the second is SAS data portion. So SAS data portion, so this is highlighted here, SAS data portion. So it stores the actual data. And the other part, that is this is called descriptor portion. So this will hold information about this data. So we can simply say metadata. So data about data is called metadata. So SAS dataset has two parts. One is SAS descriptor portion and another one is SAS data portion. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, we will understand the descriptor portion now. So SAS dataset contains two portion and one of these is descriptor portion. So in descriptor portion, what is stored? So descriptor portion stores metadata, means information about the data that is in the table. So if you see, it will tell you table name, number of observation or rows, records, date and time created, column name, and column attributes, means size of the column, what format is applied, whether column is sorted or not sorted. So this information will be stored in descriptor portion. So information about your data about data is called metadata. So guys, we can see this descriptor portion information in SAS. We need to use a proc called proc contents, and I will show you when we will go in SAS. Let's move on to the next slide. SAS dataset data portion. So as I told you, SAS dataset is a table like structure. It contains rows and columns. So data portion actually contains rows and columns. So here you will see EMPID, department and package. These are columns. So in SAS we called column as variables, and here you will see 101, 102 IT, and the entire row, this is called one record or observation in SAS. So here you will see we have two observations and three columns or variables. So this is SAS dataset data portion. So actually we will work on this data to generate any analysis in SAS. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next slide. Now we will understand SAS dataset naming rule. So when you create a new SAS dataset in SAS, then the name of the SAS dataset can be 1 to 32 characters long. So maximum number of characters in a SAS dataset name can be 32. So be careful when you give a name. So name can start with letter or underscores. So you cannot start a SAS name with a number. You can use any character or underscores. Then the third is uppercase, lowercase, or mixed case. You can use any type of case to, like capital letter, small letter, or mixed letters you can use to name the SAS dataset. Right, guys. So I think this is clear. Let's move on to the next slide. So here is SAS data type or variable type. SAS column type. Okay, in SAS we have two types of variables or columns we can create. One is numeric, another one is character. It doesn't support any other type of variable, but you can apply formats to generate or format your column according to any data type such as decimal or dates, etc. What numeric variable can hold? A numeric variable can hold digits 0 to 9, minus sign. So it will not show you the plus sign. It can show only minus. So you know that if there is no sign with the number, then that means that number is plus or positive. So if we have a minus sign, that means number is negative. It will show only minus sign. Decimal point, it can show, but you need to apply the format. And last is scientific notation. So E notations will also show that along with the numbers. When your number is long, then SAS converts that number into scientific notation, or we called it E notation. Then we talk about character variable type. So it will be letters, alphabetic letters. You can store numbers as character also. Like if you are going to store phone number, somebody's phone number, so you are not going to apply any mathematical operation on numbers, phone numbers. So those number can be stored as characters. Special characters, maybe you can store special character under the variable like percent, dollar, hash, all you can store in a character variable, and you can store blanks or space also in a character variable. Okay guys, and in SAS we can convert these variables. If you have numeric variable and you want to convert into a character, you can do. If you have a character variable that holds the numbers only, you can convert that into a numeric. This is something we will understand when we do the programming. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, now we will see the variable length. So what would be the maximum size of a numeric variable? So numeric variable can hold 8 bytes. 8 bytes means size of 8 byte in memory it will hold. But how many digits it can hold? So it can hold 16 digits. So if you type 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 like that, it will hold 16 digits. Even Microsoft Excel can hold or operate on 16 digits. So 16 digit a large number. So this is maximum 8 bytes. You cannot go beyond 8 bytes. If you want to set manually more than 8, it's not possible in SAS. However, you can set it lesser numbers. If you want to set 2 bytes, you can set it in SAS. But for character, the maximum length is 32,767 characters. So in a variable, you can store these number of characters. So these are a long number. So this is a huge number you can store in a variable. Okay, here 1 byte means one character. So here you understood like 8 bytes, but here when you type a single alphabet, that means that will hold 1 byte in the memory. So if you like 32,767 bytes, that means these many characters you can store. So you just remember 1 byte equal one character in memory. So more size you will give. For an example, if you are creating a variable and you will hold only maybe abbreviation maximum 3 letters, and you give a size of 50 for a particular character variable, that means size of 50 means 50 bytes will be reserved, or that particular space is created into the memory. However, you are going to store only 3. So that 47 bytes is a waste. So when we creating a new data set with new variable, we'll be careful what can be the maximum size of our variable. So if we work accordingly, we can save a lot of space. And when we have a less space or less size of the data set, then it will work faster. So be careful. So if somebody in the interview, they ask you that how you will write efficient coding or efficient techniques in SAS. So one thing you can say that when I'll create a data set, I'll be careful about the variable sizes. I'll set variable length only that is required, not more than that. Let's move on to the next slide. All right, guys. So now we are going to write our first program in SAS. So guys, this is SAS Studio, and we are going to understand this SAS Studio. Also, we will write our first program here. Or in later videos, I'll show you how to do the programming in SAS Enterprise Guide or SAS windowing environment also. The three things that is the most important for any programming tool are code, log, and result windows. So you may be asking like fourth window also, that is output. So that will show when we open our data set. Here you will see the code window. This will allow you to do the coding. And this is the log window. This will show you the logs. So here we haven't run any program. That's why it's showing error warning, notes, nothing. Third is result. When we generate any output or results, it will show you that output or results. So these three things are very important. Then these are the icons. These are pretty much self-explanatory. The first one is for running the code. You can press F3 also. F3 is common in all SAS tools. Save as. I'm not going for all these tools. These are pretty much self-explanatory. Just go here and then it will show you the tooltip, and it will tell you what is this SAS save program, like this save as. Okay, like cut, copy, paste, something like that. Here you will see it will show you the server side of things. Okay, folder structure, file structure. If you want to upload something, you can use these upload, download. Then task and utilities, there are so many things. So you just go through with this. For our this session, I'll just focusing on this library thing. So just go here and click on libraries. Here if you drill down, so if you see, these are the all predefined libraries. If we go into SAS help, you will see here these are the SAS data sets. So SAS files is called SAS data set. And here if we like open any file, for example, let's open this one, double click on this one. So you will see it will show you the data set. So these are columns and information, and this is SAS help.cars dataset. So it has opened this dataset here. Now you will see this is the information. So this is actually SAS data portion. You can see the data. This is variable, make, model, type, origin, drivetrain, MSRP, invoice, engine size, cylinder, and MPG city, MPG highway, weight, wheelbase. So these are so many variables here, and these are observations. So if you scroll down, you can see how many observations are there. It is showing 100. So 100 is in one page. Okay, so if you go at the end, it will show you the total observation. So there it is showing 428 total observation. Observation means records or rows. Variables and column, variable and columns are same. Let's go on to the first page. I think this is fine. Let me close this. What is the name of this data set? Cars. Where this cars data set is stored? It is stored in SAS help library. So we'll understand the libraries also. So library is nothing but a location where all of your data sets is stored. So we give a name to a particular location using library. We're not creating library as of now. Now we will see the descriptor portion of a SAS data set. So how you will see? You will type here proc contents, then space, then data. Then you will give data set name. So what was the data set name? This is cars. Where this is stored? This one is stored in SAS help. So you need to give the actual location. So SAS help is the name of the library where this data set is stored. Then you put a after library name, put the dot. Then the data set name. So data set name is cars semicolon and run. So here we are using one procedure because we are starting it with proc. So that means it's a proc step. If you select or if you do not want to select, because here we only have one program, one procedure. If you have multiple and you want to run a specific one, then you will select and click on run. But here we do not have any other code, so we can simply click here. Now you will see, let's drag this side so that we can understand the result window is inactive. Here you can go into the log and you can see what log it has generated. So it is telling us options, these are automatically active. Here what we had typed, this is the procedure, and this will show you how much time it has taken to run this, and then these options are closed here. If you see, no notes, no s timer, no source, so these are automatically applied and closed. We are not doing anything. Our focus is this. And this also we do not actually use this. I do not use most of the time, but yeah, sometimes when I need to go in detail and just to justify something, some processing, whether it's running faster or comparing the running of two methods, then we can use it. But mostly this one will not be used, the timing information. Apart from that, we can use if it generate any other information. But here we only have a one proc step, so you will not see much information in the log. The important thing for us is result window. So you see here, it will tell you the observations means number of records in this data set, variables, number of columns 15, indexes if any variable is indexed. Okay, indexing is applied or not. So it's saying no. Then observation length, deleted or compression, sorted. This one is important to us. See, everything is not important here. It provides a lot of information, but not all the information is useful to us. Next is page size. This information is little advanced. Only you just focus on this one. So where this data set is stored, so it will show you this is the location where this data set is stored. So file name will show you the entire location. Then access permission, the other things are not so important. If you go here, it will tell you the data sets variable names. So you will see it is showing these are the variable name, but you will see along with this hash, it is showing 9, 5. So this is the order of these variable, actual order in the data sets. This variable is at ninth position, but here you will see these variables are showing as per alphabetical order C, D, E, H. But in data set, the order is this. So this is in ninth position, this is in fifth position. Here you will see make is at the first position, right? When we opened, this make was showing at the first position, make, then model, then type, like this. Now it will show you the type. So cylinders is a numeric variable, it will hold numeric values, it will hold character values. So you can see that type of variable. And we discussed that SAS only supports two types, that is numeric and character. So all the variables are either numeric or characters. Now the length. So here you will see numeric variables have a fixed length, that is 8. Wherever numeric is given, these are all size 8. But character variables, this one is, it has a 5 size. Okay, this one is 13, this one is 14. So you can see according to the usage, the size of the variable varies for character type of variable. Now you will see the dollar format is applied. So that means this will hold the amount. This one also will hold the amount. So that's why the currency format is applied dollar 8 dot. Then this is label. Label is nothing but just to add some little description about a particular variable. What this is engine size, this is MPG highway. So you can add labels to just explain or describe your variables little more. Next, sort information it will tell you. So this data set is sorted by make and type, two variables in ascending order, validated yes and character set ANSI. So these are just advanced things, just don't focus much on this one. So this information this will tell you. So now you are able to see the descriptor portion of our data set. Now we will see the data portion of SAS help.cars data set. So we will use proc print. So it will print all the information of a data set's data part. We'll give data and then the name of the library first, SAS help.cars, then run. So now you will see if I want to click on this one without selecting anything, it will run both this one and this one. But now we just want to run this section. So we'll select this and then we'll run. So this procedure will run only. This will not execute. So we'll run this one. First thing we'll go into the log. We'll see there is no warning, no error. Notes means information like this. Note. So it has without error it has run. So now we'll go and see the results. So here you will see this OBS is just for our purpose. It is not in the data. It's showing observation number. This is just for display purpose. But in data set, the real variables are make. So when we are discussing the position, this variable was at the first, then model, type, origin, drivetrain, MSRP, cylinders, MPG city. So these are variables. This one is character variable. We can easily see this one is character. This one is character. This one is currency. That means numeric and dollar is applied. Dollar is applied. Then this is numeric. This is numeric. This is numeric. Numeric. All are numeric. I hope you are clear about data portion. Let's create one data set and then we'll finish. So I'll just create a new data set by copying this data set. SAS help.cars. Whatever in this cars data set, it will come into new data. So as I told you, data step starts with data keyword. So you can type small, capital, whatever, it's up to you. So I'll give data, then space, then I will give a name of the data set. So the name of the data set can be 32 character long. It can start with underscore or letters. It cannot start with numeric. So I'll give a new car, new cars, semicolon. So I terminated this line. Okay, however, you can type from here, but I generally type after giving little space. So it will look better when you type. So I am copying what SAS help broadcast. So to copy a data set, we will use a statement that is called set. So set statement is used to copy a data set into a new data set. So I am using set and then SAS help dot cars. So now I'm saying SAS that this data set, copy this data set into this data set. So what is helping us to copy this? That is set statement. Then enter and then run. So these three steps are required. Here also you see we use run. Run means to terminate this. So here this line is terminated with semicolon. Then when you use run, that this procedure is terminated means this procedure completes here. And when we apply run, so it will finish it. Same here, the data step starts here. Terminate means this line is complete. This line is complete with this one. And when we use run, that means this entire program is complete here. So data, and at the end we'll use run and then semicolon means we are terminating this line. Now you want to run this, just select this one and click on run. Go into the log and see this. Here, now you will see this is our code that we have executed. Now we will understand the information that is written into the log. So here with the help of set statement, we have read 428 observation from this data set. And those observations we are writing into this data set. Now you see it is saying work.new cars. That means I haven't given any library name while I was giving the name of the data set. So the by default If we do not give any library name, that means that particular data set is created into a work library, and work library is a temporary library. That means if you close the session, whatever written into this library will be deleted. So if you just click here, you will see this is the work library. We copied data from this library as help into this work library. So if you see this data set, we have just created new cars. It is showing under work because we haven't given any name of the library. That's why by default this data set is created into work library. And what it contains, 428 observations, means whatever observations were there in this one copied into new cars data set, and 15 variables, means 15 columns were written into this data set. Let's go again into the code. So you see what we have done, new cars. So I haven't given any name of the library like this, given library first, then dataset name. Here I haven't given any library, only the name of dataset. So that means dataset is written in work. You can type like this also, work dot. So here we are saying that create this data set into where? Work library. So it will create here. If you do not give, that means by default it will create into this library. Hope this is clear. Let's move on to the output window. So this is output data window. I have discussed we have four windows: code, log, result, and output data. So here you will see it will show you the data set that is newly created. These are all name of all columns. These are property. Select this one. Make, it will tell you the property value, name, make, length, 13, type, character. So this will show you some information here. Okay, I do not see these information here. I just click here and let's show all the columns first, and then I'll do like this. So if you see, this is the information copied into a new variable, or you can move this one. So I just make first, then move it, model first. So you can move like this in this data. Okay, you can sort this by click here. Just click here, it will sort the data set. H is first now, and S is second, SUV. Then you can click on this one, you can sort this. Now Acura is the first, and then Audi is the second. Then similarly, you can sort these ones also. So this is the MSRP, and this is the invoice amount. So similarly, you can explore the data and you can generate the insights. Okay, let's move this. By looking at this data, we can generate so many insights. I'll show you one insight what we can do. So as a customer, I am not a rich person. So if I am asking, like, I want a car that has the maximum city mileage or highway mileage, so what we can do, we can select this one. Okay, so this is the one, or you can, so I just click here and it will show us. So this is the car that is giving the maximum mileage. What is the car? Scroll and see the first one. So this is Honda Insight 2DR gas electric, but the price is, MSRP is $19,000, and this one invoice is $17,000. So we'll see what is the cheapest car here. So I just sort ascending. So you see this is the cheapest car, and being not a rich person, I would go for the cheapest car here. So this is Kia, and now we will see what is the average. So this is showing 26 and 33, and this one is little better, but we can see what is the price of this one. So you see it's not much difference, 200 $300 difference. So I'll go for this one if I need to buy, because this is little better. What about this one, the third one? It's not that much significant, we can go this also. So pretty much okay with the third one, because this is a very, it's not in price, it's not a big difference, but in average there is a very good difference, 35 and 43 miles. So if you see here, that's Toyota Eco 2 DR manual. So I'll buy this one. So see, we have generated this insight by looking into this. You can generate this insights using SAS coding also. So guys, I hope you are now able to understand the basics of SAS. Our SAS is quite big, and in one session or two session, it's very difficult to cover. But I hope you got some understanding about SAS data sets, descriptor portion, data portion, type of variables, size of the variables, and data terminology, data literacy, daily data, okay, and SAS environments. So I hope this session is interesting to you. Please let me know if you want more sessions on SAS like this. All right, guys. So if you like this video, please hit the like button or subscribe this channel, or you can share this video to your friend if anyone is preparing for SAS interview or want to learn SAS. Okay, so we will meet into the next video. Till the time, bye and take care.